can't believe I'm saying this, but the NFL season is over. Like, officially. We're beginning the next one with free agency and all the chaos that comes with it. But we're here to talk about the end of the season and have a fun time doing
it. You know it.
Ladies and gentlemen, y'all already know that we are back with the one and only Allied Rivals podcast. My name is A.J. Herschel, also known as The Kid, and I am here with my co-host, my man Caedmon Bauer. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm pretty good. I guess I had basketball practice, but I've just been kind of chilling around today, and it's been good. I did miss no football yesterday.
Yeah, I know.
It was shocking.
It's so weird, isn't it? Like after X amount of weeks, it's just over. There wasn't even like college on the weekend or bowl games or anything. We're done. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy. How you doing, AJ?
Good. So just getting a lot of work done. Trying to get some time to myself also, but doing well. Got a lot of homework assignments coming up, and I'm keeping up with WandaVision, which has been great. Loving that so far, so that's been fun as well. And hey, we're here talking about the NFL on a podcast, so that's always fun. And if any of you missed it, we did a collaboration video with KDT Wiffle Ball. I'm going to give them another shout out while we're here. Go follow them at KDT Wiffle Ball on Instagram. Check out our episode we did with them, and check out KDT Wiffle Ball on YouTube as well. They've been doing a lot of live streams recently, so you're definitely going to go want to check them out. We did a collaboration with them. That was awesome. But Caedmon, we're here to talk about the NFL. There's not a huge amount of news, and don't worry, everybody. We will talk about other sports eventually. Once we wrap everything up with the NFL, we'll get into more stuff with the MLB season coming up soon, and the NBA and March Madness in a couple weeks, which is crazy. The selection show is in less than a month, so I'm super excited for that. So we'll definitely branch out into more stuff. But for now, we have this episode and also our All-Pro team planned as well that we'll pull out. So be looking forward to that. You want to be subbed with notifications on. But this is our NFL wrap-up. Are you ready, Caedmon?
I am ready.
Let's do it. All right. First of all,
ready?
Obviously, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are your NFL champions. We know it happened a week ago. Look, there's a lot of stuff we've been doing, all right? But we are finally here to talk about it. Caedmon, you accurately predicted that the Bucs were going to win the Super Bowl, but neither of us projected it to be this much of a blowout. What was your reaction watching the game, man? It was crazy.
They were just putting pressure on Mahomes the whole time. The Buccaneers defensive line, that is, putting pressure on Mahomes the whole time, and it was impossible for him to, he didn't have any time to throw the ball. And while he has fast receivers like Tyreek Hill, who don't really need a lot of time, Buccaneers defense was just way too good. We know the Chiefs' offensive line, a couple starters were missing, so that was a problem. But big credit to the Buccaneers defense and obviously Tom Brady. But yeah, AJ?
Yeah, I think I'm in complete agreement with you. I knew that Eric Fisher was going to be a problem. Losing Eric Fisher was going to be a problem for the Chiefs. I didn't expect it to be nearly as bad as it ended up being. Mahomes was running for his life every single play. He was knocked down multiple times. He was hurried more than 30 times in the game. It was absolutely insane. And yeah, you can just eyeball Mahomes' stats and go, the guy threw it 50 times for 270 yards and 2 picks. Bad game. That is not all on him. The Buccaneers locked up on Tyreek Hill. They completely prevented him from doing any of his normal stuff. They played 2 deep safety the entire game, completely locked him up. And I was correct. I would like to point out to all the commenters that said the Bucs were going to lock him down. My boy Travis Kelce still got his 100-yard game, 10 receptions, but it's not like it did that much. The Bucs defense won the game, and I know Tom Brady got MVP, but as soon as that game ended, I looked at the people I was watching it with, and I said, Todd Bowles deserves MVP. This Bucs defense drew up an incredible scheme to stop Mahomes, kept rushing him with just a 4-man rush. They weren't even blitzing him that much. They were able to get to him every single play, and that was the key to them winning. Plus, it helps when your offense is efficient. They're smart. Fournette had an incredible game as well. Gronk with 2 touchdowns. I mean, the Chiefs finished with more yards, but the Bucs were efficient. They were smart with the football. They didn't turn it over, and the Chiefs' offensive line did them in at the end of the game. You're muted, by the way.
Coaching, just defensive coordinator, Buccaneers. I mean, Bruce Arians, obviously, but really just also Tom Brady, man. Just really – yeah. But also Tom Brady just took possession, especially with the game clock. Which I think I said, if you want to win, the team that is going to win is the one that has more time of possession, and that was the Buccaneers for sure.
Yeah, it was close though. The time of possession was like a 3-minute difference.
Well, but I think that was partly because the Buccaneers got up so fast, and they eventually. They actually had backups in a little bit. It was really funny, but
yeah,
whatever.
Well, congratulations to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for sure. Definitely deserved it. I think that I know everybody's saying it, but just the incredibleness of a guy at 43 years old playing top notch in the NFL, 40 touchdowns, the best quarterback to ever do it. The best quarterback to ever do it. In his first year with no offseason and no training camp, marches in and wins a Super Bowl in a very difficult division and shreds through the competition come playoff time. They deserved it. Hands down, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers deserved it.
It was crazy. I mean, just think about how great he is. Just going to a new team. Yeah. He's basically the head coach of the team.
He basically is
the quarterback. It's so funny. It's so good.
Yep, absolutely. and I mean, as a Bears fan, just in the back of my head, I'm thinking, man, we beat the Buccaneers this year. Yeah, we're one of the few teams that actually did it. It's cracking me up, man. But and I mean, with the Chiefs, I mean, it's definitely disheartening for sure. But they're going to be back. They still have Hill. They've got Kelsey under contract. They've got a great team. And Eric Bieniemy, they're trying to extend his contract as well to stay in Kansas City. So it's not like they're going to be down for long. They will absolutely be back. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. That'll wrap us up then.
I was
Ladies
very surprised by that blowout.
Your Super Bowl champions, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Before we keep going, be sure to check out the Allied Rivals Shorts playlist that we have. Quick 5-minute opinionated videos on various sports questions. We haven't done one in a minute, but I'm cooking up something for our next topic. We're working on it, so we definitely will be coming out more of those soon. Be sure to check out our whole playlist. Caedmon, we are not a couple weeks. We're a week and a day after the NFL ended, and we already have a massive trade for Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford, 12 years in LA. The dude's 32 years old. He's still got one of the biggest arms in football. Now he's with the Rams. Traded for 2 first-round picks, a third-round pick, and Jared Goff. Initial thoughts on the trade. What'd you think?
I don't know. I feel like Detroit got the better of this one, maybe. Even though Matthew Stafford is really great, I don't know how much longer he's going to be in the NFL, how much longer he's going to be playing top-notch football. Jared Goff may – I don't know about him either, but I feel like he has a better chance to have many more good years than Matt Stafford. I don't know. And Detroit not only got Jared Goff, but also, as it says on the screen, all the first and third round picks. So I don't know. I think Detroit won this one.
Yeah, I think in the long run Detroit wins it, but I think for right now, definitely, I think the Rams probably barely won the trade because look, the Lions are going to be a mess next year. They have no defense. They're going to be working with an entirely new coaching staff. They're still going to have to go play the Packers twice. They're going to have to play the Bears defense twice. They're going to have to play the Vikings twice. That's already a mess. Kenny Golladay is a free agent this year. There's no telling if he stays in Detroit or not, meaning Marvin Jones Jr. is your number one option. And yeah, you got Hawkinson. Yeah, you got Swift. But this is going to be a young team that probably is going to have a very rough go of it for a while. If you're the Rams, I think this is big. And I think this makes them Super Bowl contenders. Not like top 1, 2, 3, but I definitely think they're one of the bigger ones because look at this. They've got a great defense. Jalen Ramsey, Leonard Floyd, Aaron Donald. This statistically was the number 1 overall defense in the league by week 16. They were number 1. Now you've got Matthew Stafford, who is a much more evolved passer than Jared Goff, a much older guy who's could be a leader in the locker room. And you've got Cooper Kupp. You've got Robert Woods. You've got a great stable of running backs and Darrell Henderson and Cam Akers and everybody else there. A very good offensive line. To me, the Rams look like they could be a very good team. They're even more dynamic in Matthew Stafford, and they can throw it farther than 15 yards downfield now. The Rams aren't going to have any first-round picks until 2024. Let's get that straight. So right now, it is Super Bowl or bust, but I can see them shaping up definitely to get ready for a run.
Yeah, they're obviously putting a lot on Stafford. They're thinking if he plays great like he has many years, then they feel like they're going Super Bowl. They were great this year. It was just, like you said, they couldn't throw the ball farther than 15, 20 yards. So
Yeah.
Okay, Matt Stafford shows what you can do.
Yeah, and for real, this guy's an Iron Man too. Last year was one of the 2 seasons in his entire career. I know he gets banged up a lot, but this guy will play through anything. And now he's behind a great offensive line. And let's not forget, the Rams made it to a Super Bowl 2 years ago. So it's not like they're that far removed. They haven't had injuries. Their main core is still there. Their offense is arguably better with Cam Akers starting at running. They had Gurley back then, but still, he wasn't the same at that point. You've got Cam Akers now. That you could make the argument their offense is actually better. So I'm very curious to see what they are going to do next season.
All right.
Next up, this is one I'm very confused about. And really, this only applies to the Bears and Packers, which is why I'm even asking you this in the first place. The Bears hired former Packers defensive coordinator Mike Pettine as a defensive assistant. Caedmon, you're the Packers guy. What can you tell me about him?
He knows how to put together, he knows how to stop the passing game, but he can't stop the run game. The only way he can, and the Packers had one of the best, core of D-backs in the league.
Oh yeah.
So when we played the Titans, it was just he put 5 defensive linemen out. So there was a constant blitz, and he just left out just the 4 DBs and the linebackers. I don't know how we did that to Derrick Henry, but Mike Pettine, other than that game, hasn't been able to or wasn't able to scheme much up against the run. We just got destroyed all year. Cam Akers, Dalvin Cook was the big one. Many others. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what they're thinking there, but
yeah.
Lightning
Bauer brings up, teach me how to say Pettine. I hope you're happy with that. I'm very curious to see how it's going to work out. Our defense isn't the problem. The problem is that our offense can't get the ball past the 90% of the time. So, great if he helps for sure. Losing Chuck Pagano is going to be interesting going in with Sean Desai this year. I don't know, man. You're helping the wrong side of the football. You don't need a defensive assistant. Not sure how I feel about that. Lightning Bauer, thank you for approving of my pronunciation. But Caedmon, there is a bunch, speaking of quarterbacks, there's a bunch of other people that may or may not leave. Let's get to the big names immediately. Deshaun Watson has been one of the big ones. And to me, this is very comparable to a Bradley Beal situation in Washington where, he would thrive on another team. But do you think Houston's actually going to trade him away? Right now, Matthew Stafford is good enough for 32-year-old Matthew Stafford is good enough for 2 first-rounders, a third-rounder, and the current quarterback of that team. Who knows what Deshaun Watson is going to cost? Is it worth it, do you think? Is he going to leave Houston?
I don't think they're letting him go.
Mm.
I'm sorry, but the Texans, he's like their big weapon, not only passing but also running, and they're not letting him go. They need him. They just lost J.J. Watt, and there's going to be other guys leaving because who wants to be at the Texans right now? Because the problem with them is that they've never, well, they kind of have, but they've never really gone in full rebuild mode.
Yeah.
They've always just kind of done bit by bit, but the problem with that is that all these guys' contracts expire when you get this part all figured out, and then you have to figure this part in. Texans just need to go full rebuild mode right now, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, especially their defense. Losing JJ, I mean, their defense wasn't good. Their defensive line wasn't terrible because they had JJ Watt, but they just lost the best guy and the guy that's been a team leader and everything. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm staying.
Dude, I think he's staying. Unfortunately for him, Houston defense basically has Whitney Merciless now. Yeah, I'm gonna end that sentence there. But man, I just do not think. I feel really bad for the Houston Texans. They've been a mess. Bill O'Brien did not do a great job with a lot of the trades he made. I think they're going to keep him unless he holds out. And even if he does hold out, I don't know what team is going to be able to take him on. I mean, to get Deshaun Watson, you're going to have to trade all of your future and probably half of your current team already, because this is a guy who throws 30-plus touchdowns a season behind one of the consistently worst offensive lines in the NFL. I think he stays partially just due that the price is too high. Matthew Stafford set the bar. Deshaun Watson's going to be even higher. I just don't think any team that's pushing for a championship right now can afford him, except maybe the Colts. But come on, the Texans aren't going to trade inside their division.
Yeah, I think one of the big problems is that too many teams are over their cap space right now.
Yeah.
So this, under like a normal circumstance, Deshaun might be going somewhere, but I don't think this year.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Well, speaking of J.J. Watt, you already brought him up. He's now a free agent. Where do you think he's going to go? There's a lot of rumors flying around. Ravens, Steelers, Packers. Where do you think J.J. Watt ends up come the 2021-2022 NFL season?
I don't know. I think it's going to be either the Steelers or the Packers.
Yeah.
I think maybe the Cowboys, because he's also said he wants to go there too, and they need an offensive lineman.
Yeah.
Packers. He played at Wisconsin. He said he really wants to be there. That's his dream or whatever.
Yeah.
Steelers. His brothers are there, and
Yeah.
he just seems to enjoy Dallas as well. So one of those three. I don't know which.
Yeah.
I think if it was either Packers or Steelers, he'd have to. He wouldn't get paid as much. The Packers and Steelers just don't have the cap space right now. I think the Cowboys could make room for him though.
Yeah, they are. They have $18 million in cap space right now, so they definitely do have the room, and they definitely need the help too. J.J. Watt is, even if he's getting older, he's still a leader in the locker room. I think, like you said, Steelers and Packers would be the two front runners, but though both of them are over the cap. Packers $20 million, Steelers are $30 million, even with the Pouncey brothers retiring, which is still going to hurt. Man, I like J.J. Watt a lot, but if I was saying to see him to go to a contender, like if I'm a person, I'm like, okay, if I'm an NFL head, where would I want him? I'd want him in Miami for sure. They got the money to pay him, and that would help out their defense immensely. I'd love to have him there. I think Seattle could definitely use another edge rusher. But Cowboys, like you said, they definitely need the help. But the teams that could use him the most are the teams with the least amount of money or are in trouble already. So, I mean, right now, I think if they make the room, he goes Pittsburgh. I think the family ties are going to be too much for him, but Pittsburgh needs to invest in their offense too, and that's what worries me for him going there. Lightning Bauer says, Pettin is great. You should be glad as a Bears fan. I hope so. And he says, how about the pack for J.J. Watt? I think both of us are like, it could work, but they need to make the space for him. I think that's what we're saying right now. Yep. Next one, the Eagles quarterback Carson Wentz, who has been on a roller coaster of a career from a near MVP season, multiple injuries, and some people calling him the worst quarterback in the NFL last year, to which I would disagree. I would say he was sitting behind the worst offensive line in football last year and credit a lot of his struggles to that. Also, how many wide receivers did this dude have that was healthy? He would get Rager for a week, Jackson for a week, Jeffrey for 2 weeks, Ertz for 2 weeks. His weapons were in and out consistently with injuries. Do you think the Eagles keep him on to bring in competition for Hurts, or do they deal him?
I do not know. I mean, I saw Hurts is really good, and he shows I don't know. He shows that he could be something really great in future years. Kind of reminds me of a Cam Newton, like a 20, what would it be? I don't know, 2015, 2017? I don't know, whatever year that was. Kind of reminds me of the Cam Newton when he won MVP.
Yeah.
I don't know, he seems really good. I think they're going to keep Carson Wentz just to kind of keep the pressure on Hurts. And maybe also as kind of like a mentor, just a guy to teach him some things. I think they're going to keep Carson Wentz.
Yeah. I think the Colts are going to actually make the Eagles an offer they can't refuse. And as much as you're like, he could be a mentor, I don't think Carson Wentz wants to be a mentor. This guy is no Alex Smith type guy. He's 28 years old. So he is right in the prime of his career. Lightning Bauer coming up with the first take puns for us. Wentz has-beens. Look, a lot of people brought this up. Indianapolis, what is the 1 year he did really well? The Eagles Super Bowl run before he got injured. Who is his offensive coordinator? Frank Reich. And guess what? The Colts have a whole bunch of cap space. Their defense is set very, very well. Their offensive line is arguably the best, and you could make an argument for them being the best in pure talent in football. And I mean, add a number one wide receiver in there. In my opinion, they get Allen Robinson, Kenny Golladay in free agency. This is one of the best teams in football. Oh yeah, Jonathan Taylor. Oh yeah, Marlon Mack is coming back. Oh, by the way, they have and Jordan Wilkins and like 7 tight ends. Look, this keeps going on. It's too perfect for him to go to Indianapolis. I think the Eagles move on with Hurts, especially with the new head coach coming in. I think they move on with Hurts and Wentz gets dealt. Maybe. But the rational assumption of NFL management, we could see him sitting with an Eagles uniform in 2021.
Yeah.
The 2021 season. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But there's a whole bunch of other quarterbacks whose names been floating around. Darnold, Garoppolo, Carr. Will Dak continue to stay with the Cowboys? And for some reason, Russell Wilson's name is being thrown around because of his disappointments with Seattle's front office. I don't see that happening. What do you think, Caedmon? Just
Russell Wilson?
Any of these, are they on the move?
I think Sam Darnold's staying. I think he's going to get maybe one more chance, maybe like a 1-year, 2-year contract. I don't know. He has to be playing better. I mean, granted, he didn't have the greatest receiving core.
Yeah.
They didn't have a great run game. They didn't have an offensive line.
And you had Adam Gase as your head coach.
Yeah, give him something to work with. And
yeah,
I don't know. I'd say keep him maybe 1 year, maybe 2.
Yeah. Any of the others you think? Garoppolo, Carr, anybody else?
That are moving? I would say Dak, but we don't know how he's going to be. He may just be a backup till, unless we hear otherwise that he's feeling fine and moving around fine. I don't know. I could see Dak going somewhere else.
Yeah. Porter Drinks in the comment section says, "What's up? What's up to you as well, my good sir? Let us know what you think about the end of the NFL and all the quarterback carousel, as people like to call it, that's been going around." Man, I feel bad for a lot of these. Garoppolo was in a Super Bowl 1 year ago, and now look at what this team is looking like. Derek Carr, I think he stays in Vegas. He didn't have a bad year. I think the Raiders maybe get one more wide receiver to help them out, get a B to Ruggs. I mean, Aguilar had a very good year as well, especially near the end of the season. Josh Jacobs, still a very premier running back. I mean, John Gruden's got some kind of 12-year plan. I think he stays. I know a lot of people are saying Garoppolo could go to New England. Maybe if they get some good pieces offensively or defensively, because the Niners, if they can stay healthy, are a powerhouse. And, I mean, Darnold, the Jets could draft his heir apparent this year.
Super Bowl hangover with the 49ers. Porter Drink says Fitzpatrick to the Bears. AJ, any thoughts?
Lightning Bauer says, yeah, so the Bears can have another quarterback that won't be any good. I think we're done with veteran quarterbacks. I think from a management decision, it's not going to happen because we already did the Foles experiment, and part of that was our offensive line. Part of it was play calling. It was a whole mess of things. And I mean, the Dolphins, I don't know if they want to give up Fitzpatrick because technically he played basically just as well as Tua last year in many situations. So I don't think I don't see him being dealt. And plus, as we always see, Fitzpatrick, you either get Fitzmagic or a pumpkin, is Judah Buddha from Rotohack. So I don't see that happening. And Porter Drink says the Packers are the 2021. It is 2 weeks, guys.
They're going to go to the NFC Championship and lose again.
I look forward to it. I can't wait.
Packers fan.
But there's one thing that we haven't talked about, Caedmon. We've gotten through a lot of news and stuff, but we got to face the music. We have criticized, predicted a lot of stuff this entire year. And a while back, we gave our midseason grades at week 8 for NFL teams. And before we do that, I just want to give you a little list, and this is going to be really funny, of what we said our top 10 preseason teams were. Are you ready for this, Caedmon?
I'm ready.
Number 1. Kansas City Chiefs. I think we're fair and justified there. Good.
Makes sense.
Number 2, tied Ravens and Seahawks. That did not age well.
Yeah, that was interesting. Ravens, terrible start, came back, but they're bad.
Yeah, and the Seahawks are complete opposite. Great start, horrible finish. Number 3, Packers. Good pick by us. I think that one worked out well. Number 4, New Orleans Saints.
I think we're justified with that.
I think we're justified with that, yeah. Number 5, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, we didn't predict them to win the Super Bowl, but they were the 5 seed in the NFC, so not bad. Number 6, the 49ers. Man, that did not age well.
I think that was your call.
No, we worked on that together. Get out of here with that. Get out of here with that. Dude, their defense got decimated. Debo couldn't stay healthy. Garoppolo was in and out. Mostert couldn't stay healthy. It was a mess. 7, the Vikings.
They were bad.
I don't think, that was not a good pick by us.
No,
we put the Bills at 8, which I think at the beginning of the season is justified. I think that was justified at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, but they obviously proved better than that.
Yeah, and then 9, Titans. I think that's a pretty good spot for where we had them. That's about where they finished. And 10, Cowboys. Man, Dak's injury and everything else. My goodness. Well, that was our top 10. And before we get to our grades, we got a little bit of comment here from Porter Drink and Lightning Bauer about what the Packers are going to do in the offseason. First, he says, the Packers will sign J.J. Watt because we restructured David Bakhtiari's contract. We'll re-sign Aaron Jones, and we'll draft a wide receiver. Maybe we'll cut Kevin King, and bang, we're there. Lightning Bauer says King has to be gone, but he hopes he's right on the other stuff. Caedmon, do you think this is a realistic plan for the Green Bay Packers?
Yeah, I think re-sign Aaron Jones. Also keep Corey Linsley. He's a big part of our offensive line. Draft a wide receiver, maybe. Draft a defensive lineman, definitely. Cut Kevin King for sure.
Yeah. I think I agree with part of it. I get the restructured Bakhtiari's contract, but I don't know. I think they should re-sign Aaron Jones, but I feel like that takes up the money for Watt because Kevin King's contract is already gone. He's a free agent this year, so you can't cut him. his contract is just up, and you're already $20 million in the hole. So you got to get on the plus side by the time the season starts. I don't know if you can sign Watt and Aaron Jones, because Aaron Jones is going to command a massive contract, and I don't think you need to. A.J. Dillon had a very good year, and Jamal Williams is a solid backup. I think if you need to cut costs, Aaron Jones' contract is going to be too high. I think you sign Watt, let Aaron Jones walk, and stick with Dillon. I think that's my plan if I'm the Green Bay Packers.
So what do you do with Jamal Williams?
I think you got to try to keep him. He's a good receiving back, and I mean, in the games he played, he did well for the most part. But if you don't have the money, I guess you have to cut him too. It's going to be interesting.
Dude, you have to keep Aaron Jones, like top 7 running back this year.
I know he is. I know
running back before, averages over 5 a carry.
I know. And look, I've had him on my fantasy team for the last 2 years. I know his production value is insane, but I just don't think you have the cash for him. He's gonna command $15+ million in free agency for sure. And with A.J. Dillon, I don't think you need to. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Lightning Bauer brings up that Lazard has a good year. You could keep developing Dillon, let Jones go, and keep Jamal Williams. Porter Drinks thinks that Jamal Williams could start on any other team. I think as a receiving back, I don't think he's a number 1 starter for sure. But Porter Drinks does bring up a good point. They're going to have to choose. It is going to be a whack free agency for him.
Yeah, that's going to be hard.
All right. Well, let's finish up our episode with our end of season grades. Caedmon is the I guess, I don't know, principal for the AFC this year. I'm the principal for the NFC. We'll switch. I think we should switch next year to change it up. Yeah. But we're going to keep it consistent. Caedmon, let's start with you. AFC East, you initially gave a C-. The Bills were 6-2. The Dolphins were 4-3. But combined, the Patriots and the Jets were 2-13. Guess which team gave them the 2 wins?
Yep.
What is your final grade for the AFC East?
All right. So I'm going from a C- to a B.
Not bad.
I mean, we all know how the Bills turned out. They turned out amazing. Dolphins ended up being pretty good. Patriots 7-9 record, so just kind of I don't know, just below the 500. And I'm raising it a little bit. I think I would give it like a B-. If the Jets had gone like 2-14 and not won the last 2 games. I don't know. I think the Jets showed that they were capable of winning at the end, but I don't know. I think a B is a fair mark for them.
I think that's fair. I'll go with my NFC East. I'm sorry, they went from a D- to a D. I'm sorry. The Washington football team had a great end of year surge. The New York Giants almost made the playoffs, which is ridiculous to me. And the Dallas Cowboys missed the playoffs because they couldn't beat the New York Giants in the final game. They were just out. Eagles had a decent run at the end of the year, but at the end of the day, Taylor Heineke's performance against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is what gets you up from a D- to a D. It's just not good enough for me to put him any higher.
That's fair. Hey, we got some comments in here.
Yep. Just to mention it.
Running backs can come out of nowhere.
That is very true. That is very true.
And we got KDT football.
Welcome back.
But boys, you should go check out an episode we just did a couple days ago. It has over 300 views already. So that's pretty good for our rivals. Yeah.
Be sure to check out their YouTube channel too. Be sure to check it out too. Their season's starting soon. The snow melts.
Yep. All right. Porter Drinks. Bills were good. I would give that division a B+. Yeah. Okay. I respect that. Dolphins almost made playoffs and football team. Okay. What's next, AJ?
For you got the AFC West. You were really harsh on them. Give them a D+ in your initial rankings. But to be fair, the Chiefs were 7-1, and the Raiders were the only team with the winning record at 4-3. What do they finish with?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm being a little more generous to them this time.
Yeah.
D+ to a B-. Chiefs had the best record, 14-2, and they could have had a 15-1 if they hadn't benched all their starters at the end.
Very true.
Vegas finished 500. Chargers and Denver. I don't know. Looked like a pretty similar division to the East as far as records went. I mean, Denver had the better record against the Jets, but I don't know. I liked the Jets for the last couple weeks, so I don't know. B- right there.
B-. All right. For me, the NFC West, look, I had given them an A initially, halfway through the year. Everybody in the division had a winning record. Even the 49ers were at 500 at 4-4. Everybody. So they earned my A. But for me, it's a B+ at this point. It was kind of a disappointing end to the year. 49ers, I mean, they did their best with what they had, with the people that were healthy. The Cardinals just completely self-destructed at the end of the year. Losses to the 49ers, to the Rams, missed the playoffs. Seahawks collapsed in the playoffs as well. And I mean, the Rams, I mean, they did their best. I'll give you that. But I mean, they made it to the divisional round. But look, B+ is still a very good grade. That is like an 87, 88, 89. So still, good grade for them. I was just a little disappointed by their end of the season. Caedmon, how about your AFC North? You gave them a B initially. At that point, the Steelers were still undefeated. What do they have now?
Yeah. So this was the good division in the AFC. They went to an A-, moved up a couple notches. 3 teams, 11-5, 11-5, 12-4. And there's always going to be one bad team. I mean, because division games and everything, the Bengals.
Yeah.
It wasn't the Jets. It was the Bengals, next to worst. But A-, I mean, the Bengals are the only reason they're not at A+.
Wow, A+. Very nice. Okay, good grade for them. For me, NFC North, B to a B+. Packers definitely are carrying their weight in the division. NFC Championship appearance, huge. The Bears somehow squeaked into the playoffs. So I mean, they definitely got some help from John Wolford and the Rams, but I mean, at the end of the day, you made it. So however you get there, good on you. Vikings collapsed at the end of the year, and I mean, at least the Lions stayed competitive. They're always a competitive team. I think definitely carried by the Packers, Bears playoff appearance. I give them a B+. It was a fine year for the NFC North, but definitely a disappointing end. Caedmon, AFC South, you gave one of your harshest grades earlier in the year with a D+. D+ to the division. What are you giving him now? Titans made a playoff appearance. Colts did too, but the Texans and Jaguars are still there. What'd you give
D+ to C. Yeah. You had 2 great teams, and you had 2 of the worst teams in football. And by my count, I'd say that average is about to a C. From A to F, that's about a C.
Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense to me. Fair enough.
All right.
And for me, my final one, the NFC South, it's an A. A. Pass with flying colors. This is also our top division, our number 1 division, our top graded division. Look, Falcons definitely had a rough year for sure. Carolina was not what they hoped for. Mike Davis did well in McCaffrey's absence, but still losing record, not what you want. Saints made a divisional appearance with Drew Brees literally breaking half the bones in his body. So there's that. And then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, how can I not give the division with the Super Bowl champs anything other than an A? 2 teams made the playoffs. Bucks overcame their demons and dominated in the Super Bowl. The NFC South is our number 1 division this year with a well-deserved A. Ladies and gentlemen, that is our NFL wrap-up, Super Bowl wrap-up. Thank you all for sticking here. KDT Wiffle Ball in the comment section. Unreal bid, my boys. Can't wait to beat y'all in the league next year. Hey, Ally Rivals might be joining up with KDT as well. Once again, be sure to go check out their channel. Be sure to keep notifications on. They're doing a lot of live streams. KDT, thank you for saying the views. Y'all got a great channel. Thank you very much. KDT Importer Drinks, getting some little baseball, wiffle ball smack talk up in here in the comment section. But ladies and gentlemen, that is another episode of the Allied Rivals podcast. Caedmon, what do you want to pull out from your background today?
All right, so I have this was just given to me. It's a 22. Shoot, no, that was
Oh, no.
worse. Yeah, 2021 daily sports calendar. Each day there's a different NBA or Bucks just cool trivia fact.
Well, what's today's? Give us today's. February 15th.
All right, let's find today's. There we go. All right. Quinn Buckner was named to the all-defensive second team 4 times while playing for the Milwaukee Bucks.
Very nice. Very nice.
What a legend.
All right.
AJ, what you got, bro?
Oof. Bro drops the thing. Yes, sir, but we're all good here. I was going to pull out something different, but I'm going to save that one now because I've got my Chicago Bears calendar that somebody gave me for this year. So kind of sticking with the calendar theme that we're running with today. February 15th, what's mine? President's Day in America and Flag Day in Canada and Family Day in Canada. So for all you Canadian viewers, happy Flag Day, which I didn't know existed until now. Fun fact. Okay. Legendary Bears player, coach, and owner George Halas, who passed away at 88 in 1983, affectionately was known as Papa Bear. That is base Chicago Bears knowledge. Everybody has to know that. Also, we'd like to say rest in peace to Vincent Jackson, wide receiver for the Buccaneers and Chargers, who reportedly died today. Rest in peace to him. He was a very good receiver while he was in the NFL. Sorry to see him go. But ladies and gentlemen, that is another episode of the Allied Rivals podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Porter Drinks, wishing everybody a happy Flag Day, whether you're Canadian or not. Caedmon, you got anything else to say for us?
See ya.